Oh, the PlayStation 4. It truly saddens me that your lifespan is pretty much over, especially since the PS4 Pro is the most powerful console that I currently have. Some games are still coming to that console though, and one that was released this year is what many people consider to be an anime version of Returnal, Scar-Led Salvation. I was a bit curious about this game, so I bought it with some birthday money to see if it brought me salvation or led me into getting scars. Time loop or not, it's important that I give you a spoiler alert to make sure you're truly awake in this cycle. Get your numbers in, because it's time to bash some bots to prove that there are lots of beings more valuable than any piece of technology. Hey, I'm Owen the Fictionboy, and here's my review on Scar-Led Salvation. In terms of story, this game doesn't really have much of a plot, as the game begins with Willow Martin, the protagonist, having just woken up from her containment pod, having no clue what's going on, why there's a number imprinted on her cheek, and not getting a response from those she tried to contact. So once you go through the tutorial where you learn basic movements, how certain weapons work to take down robots, using unique moves like collecting Exoforce to use Onslaught, parrying with your striker, and dashing with Mirage Shift, Willow enters the next part of the facility and gets killed by robots. Upon waking up again, an AI talks to her, claiming to be her guide on how to escape the facility, yet Willow has her suspicions, making her question whether or not this AI can be trusted. As you progress, the AI will inform you of the war between the humans and the contactors, and Willow will try figuring out what kind of person she was before her supposed amnesia began. The levels in the game are procedurally generated, meaning the layouts of each room won't be exactly the same for anyone or anytime they boot up the game. Weapons range from firing lasers, scattered bullets, quick but deadly shots, and some weapons have attacks based on electricity, fire, and ice. Along with lots of enemies for you to fight, which are generic robots with bullet heck attacks that you'll see billions of times, even if you somehow manage to survive. There will be warp portals that most of the time will benefit you, whether it's a storage room, shop, weapon enhancement room, or recovery facility. Other times the game will say, you, and put you in a hard fort consisting of enemies being everywhere in the room. There are also reports for you to collect to get all the information on everything and everyone involved with the war, as some are in special portals and others are at the start of some floors. The enemies you defeat will drop elm chips, and you'll need to collect those if you want to purchase items from shops, enhance weapons, restore health at recovery facilities, or even get an emergency revive device where you'll have an extra life if you lose all your health. When all your health is gone, Willow will go back to her containment pod where she started and lose her secondary weapon as well as her elm chips. The interesting thing is that every time Willow takes damage, she loses parts of her armor, as she has her main armor, her inner armor, and her last level revealing her body. No, this doesn't mean she's naked, as she has a bra and underwear, so don't plan on experimenting how much damage it takes for her body to be completely exposed. At the end of each floor, there will be a weapon enhancing machine where upgrading your weapons costs you, and at the end of each section, there is a boss that consists of 2 phases at first, and you'll get a skill slot expander, as skill slots can increase health, defense, attack power, reload time, etc. Throughout Willow's endless cycle, she'll learn of the bioweapons the contactors worked on and realize the number on her cheek indicates how many times she's time leaped. After defeating the last boss in the final section, Willow reaches the place where she can escape, but couldn't get the controls to work without the activation key. Right then and there is where the AI revealed his true colors by telling Willow she isn't human and considering her a threat to his plans. So once Willow wakes up from being betrayed by the AI, she knew her goal was to get the key, as they were in different parts of the areas she already has been to. However, an AI that sounds like the one who went behind her back came. and with no time to question the situation, Willow had to keep moving. Upon revisiting the sections you already played, you'll see the same enemies, but after defeating the normal enemies, you'll see different versions of them appear, as they'll have different colors, have more health, and have attacks based on the section you're in. Robots in green have electricity attacks that shock you, making it harder to attack. Blue ones have ice attacks that freeze you, keeping you in place, and red ones have fire attacks that burn you, causing drastic damage. You'll also be able to go to rooms you couldn't access before, with a part of the activation key in each section, and you'll need all 3 parts for the true ending. Each section also has one additional floor, as well as the bosses now having 3 phases instead of 2. If you're worried about losing the activation keys, then don't stress, because even if you die, they'll still be in your possession. The more you continue to get through the harder versions of the same parts of the facility, Willow will realize she never lost any memories to begin with, because she's an android, a copy of an existing human with the same name. The new AI goes by the name of Oscar Gray, and surprise surprise, the other AI is the villain who became one with the final boss, so saying he's the other Oscar Gray would be inaccurate. Once you defeat the evil AI, Willow makes it to the same room where she got tricked the last time she went in it. Oscar assured Willow that he isn't like the evil AI, so she began making her way out of the facility, smiling that her journey won't be 500 years long, and the game's story ends there. Though once you watch, or skip, the credits, loop mode will be activated, where you play the game again by resuming on the saved game, but enemies are even stronger. Each clear increases the number of stars you have, and there's a limit to how strong the enemies get. Oh boy, I really don't like saying this, yet I must always be honest. This is not a good game. What are the positives? I don't mind the anime style, even though you can tell it's rather cheap. Willow is kinda attractive, and the aspect of her taking damage affecting her armor is a nice one. That said, the game is packed with problems. The story, or the lack thereof, is pretty generic. Willow has no complex relationship with Oscar Gray or the evil AI. You'll have to get used to her potty mouth, as hearing her say the D and S words every other sentence isn't exactly funny. Enemy designs are bland, also unoriginal when fighting the harder versions of them. There are too many empty hallways between rooms. The gameplay is repetitive as heck that even Willow gets tired of it. And this goes without telling you the flaws on the PS4 version, which is the console I played it on. There were already performance issues on PS5 and PC, but on PS4, the game runs at 30 FPS even when the game doesn't seem graphically intense. Yet the frame rate gets much worse when multiple attacks come at you, especially during the boss fights, as those may run at like 10 FPS. The worst part is, the bosses could have been fun if the performance was stable. Oh, and guess what? Do you want to replay the game at normal difficulty? I explored that for a bit due to curiosity, and it turns out, you can't. I advise you don't waste your energy on loop mode, since the game was already at a bull sherbert level of hard, and I already got the platinum trophy, so I don't imagine one person clearing loop mode once, let alone however many times it takes to reach maximum difficulty. Also, yes, I'll say it, this game is not worth $60, and while the Xbox Series X version has recently launched at $50, this feels more like a $20 game at most. Scar-led Salvation is a poor attempt at a game, if you can even call it a full-fledged game, and feels like nothing more than a Returnal wannabe that isn't worth your time or money, so I'm gonna have to give it 2 out of 5 stars. Despite owning the weakest version of what people may consider to be one of the worst games of 2025, I don't have it in me to hate this game so much that I want to throw it away, although it was definitely frustratingly challenging. All I have to say now is that this was a fine example of knowing why it sucks to be in a time loop, and this will forever be a scar in my days of being a gamer. Still need more fiction? Then please give this video a like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Also comment below and follow me on Instagram for teasers and thumbnail previews of videos to come in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, and good night-o!